So, how come some people can recover from abuse and others can't? Whether it's physical abuse, whether it's sexual abuse, whether it's addiction. Why can some overcome and some don't? My name's Lori Lamonto, and I am a counselor for mental health as well as drug and alcohol counseling. And this I see as a question that comes up a lot. I'll have clients come in and they'll say, I'm here, I'm in this office specifically with you, not because I want to be here, not because I did anything when it comes to physical or sexual abuse, but because something was done to me. And they have a mindset of a victim and blaming. And they were victims, and I can understand where that would come from. But the next step is, well, then how do we recover? How do we get you to recover and become someone who's a different person that doesn't live in a lifestyle of victimization? How can we get you to become someone who's triumphant, who has more courage, who has more excitement for life? Then you're going to have others who also have addiction issues. And some of that could be, put on you, whether you had maybe some kind of accident or physical pain, or if you played a sport and you got on some kind of pain medication. Some of them could be because of situations such as this, that you didn't really realize you were getting addicted to drugs and now you have to recover. And then others made choices. Others have a lifestyle where they chose these drugs and they got themselves into some kind of drug abuse and drug dependency. So why do some recover and why don't the others? Why do the others struggle so much? Now, this topic comes up not only because I have clients, but I'm also a victim of many of these circumstances. So I still, since I've been a kid, have been in my own therapy, have been in my own kind of growth, mindset of what can I do to continue to recover. I mean, there's choices here. You can have a fixed mindset where you're just going to stay stuck and fixed. I'm fixated on the problem. I'm fixated on the abuse. I'm fixated on the guilt or the shame. Or you have a growth mindset. And that growth mindset is more about courage and bravery and things that you got to do to say, I want to live a different life. So I'm going to give three. I'm going to give just three things that I've come up with for this specific video. One of the first things that's going to have to happen is honesty. First, you have to be honest. Some people who have been physically abused don't even recognize it till they're older, till they come out of the abuse. It's sort of like complex abuse when you are living in a situation that you don't even realize is abusive till you leave it. Then you recognize the PTSD and you realize the abuse. So at that point, you have to be honest. Like, I was really abused, and maybe I was naive to it, ignorant to it, accepted it. I needed homeostasis or equilibrium in my home, so I acted as if it was the normal. Okay, so one thing would be honesty. You have to be honest. Same with drug addiction. You have to be honest. If you can't come to a place to say the drugs and alcohol is now a dependency, that it went from use to abuse to dependency, if you personally can't have that awareness and have that honesty that you actually are abusing a substance and you are addicted and you need to get into recovery, that's going to be something that's going to hinder you. It's going to stop you from moving forward. So the first step in both of these is just being honest and having an awareness. Awareness is the beginning of change. So that would be the first thing. That would be the first thing. And some people struggle just with that part right there. They can't even, get to that place. So there's a process, obviously, for recovery of anything. The other thing would be, taking the responsibility. Okay, so yeah, if you were sexually abused as a child or physically abused, if there was addiction issues in your home and alcoholism or battery, if you watched battery or if you were battered, if you had some form of sexual abuse in some way, these things are going to also be where you're going to have to take responsibility now to say, okay, that was my life. That was then. Now what? Now what? How do I recover from unhealthy, maladaptive thinking? How do I recover from unhealthy relationships? How do I recover from the memories and the dreams and the recall that happen? Where and what are the next goals? And then it becomes an effort on your part. And that's the hardest part, is because we want to stay blaming when you're a victim of something. People want to blame. But it's your responsibility. It's your accountability. You have to end up taking accountability to be like, no, I am going to recover from this. I'm going to triumph over this. I'm going to be victorious, whichever words you want to use, but there's going to have to be a direction and a goal. If not, then you're going to either stay, in a place or a mindset that again is fixed, or just angry at the world, angry at your family, angry in relationships. Time does not heal unless you try to put the healing into it. A lot of times you hear they say, oh, time will heal anything. No. You can still stay bitter, resentful, angry, hatred. You can still have all these things going on just because you thought time would heal. No, time does not heal unless you're putting the effort into the healing and into the recovery. So same with addiction, same with drug addiction. You have to take responsibility and accountability for yourself. Some are more addictive. Some are physically addictive. Some are mentally addictive. Again, some were done from doctors, because of pain. Others were choices of just you being a little more wild, and then before you knew it, you got addicted to the substance. But you still have to take responsibility for your part and stop maybe blaming society. The last thing, so far we have that you have to be honest and aware. Then we have that you have to be responsible and accountable. I would say the next thing is taking courage. The name of my channel is The Courage to Change. Okay, the courage. Courage is bravery, taking an action, even when you're afraid. So you might be afraid. What does it look like if I don't live in this life of addiction? What does it look like if I don't have this mindset that I've been an abused person and all of a sudden I'm healthy? You might not even know what to fill it up with. You might be thinking, what do I fill this up with? What do I fill up all this trauma with? So why at this point, would you take the courage to come out of a comfort zone? It's comfortable, it's familiar. Comfort and pain don't always go together. So I have a hard time using the word comfortable, but it's familiar. It's something very, very familiar. So when you get familiar to the pain and familiar to the, excuses, the way that you want to blame people, when you get familiar with all of that, that becomes your identity. It's like, oh my gosh, if I'm going to take the courage to change this and I'm going to recover and I'm going to live healthy financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, okay, just within your whole mind, body, soul, and spirit, it's one. So if you're going to take the opportunity to be like, okay, others can recover, how come? How come they recovered and I didn't? Some of that is because you won't take the courage to come out of your comfort zone. You won't take the courage to do the healing. You won't take that next step to say, I am going to heal and not make excuses anymore. I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to be intentional with the next steps that I do. So at this point, I want you to know, there's going to be people that you meet that years and years and years, they have been in addiction or been in maladaptive relationships, toxic relationships, and they do the pattern over and over and over again. And then they're wondering why. They're wondering why. Well, they didn't do the healing. They didn't take the time to actually sit down and really explore, be curious about who they are. There's more. There's going to be so many more things that we're going to discuss. But today, and only today, at this point, I want to say this is the main thing for this specific channel today, this topic today. Why do some people recover from abuse and others don't? The ones that don't stay in a fixed mindset. They won't come out of their comfort zones. They stay blaming and excusing, and they stay stuck. Those that do actually put the work in. They put the work in, they take the courage, they get into the unknown, they get out of their comfort zones, they have to figure out how to fill up those other areas, they take responsibility, they're honest. So I want you to know you can recover from all of the abuses. Will it be in our memory still? Sure. They don't go away. The memories don't go away. The story doesn't go away. The narrative doesn't go away. But the way you behave changes once you start to actually put the work in. I look forward to hearing your responses. I hope you hit the like button. I hope you subscribe. I hope you enjoy this channel. And I hope you feel hope. Hope you can change. Have a very good day, and I hope to talk with you all soon.